one we're going to use. The bearings will be reclaimed out of another engine, and the cylinder sleeve, this is the one that came out of that engine, and I'm going to reuse it. It's really good. And there is a it's hardly none. I didn't put the micrometer in it. I do, you know, I've got that mic over there. But you know, once I kind of got it cleaned up to this part, and you feel down in there, you can actually know where the ring stopped at. You know, there is a position there. I mean, you know it's there, but it's one of them kind of things where that, you know, do I scrap the engine because of a few thousandths wear in that cylinder bore? You know, do I junk it for that reason? Do I spend or exert the time to sleeve it? You know, it's that kind of time where you make that decision as what to do. And considering the engine as a whole, I think in this case that this cylinder is perfectly serviceable. So, and all I'll do is I'm gonna put it in there with a new O-ring right there, and that's another backwards video. That's the only place on this engine that I will use silicone, and it's kind of unnecessary. You know, it's overkill. I think the book manual from International that came with these said to put that O-ring back in there with chassis grease. But I do just for the way I do it. Put a very small bead of silicone around the front, and in that groove in there in the O-ring. Now I do that. Not enough to, and if any of it squeezes out, I do remove it. I don't leave any squeeze out. And what I'll do is run a flex on in here very lightly. This cylinder is really clean inside, so I just want to kind of scratch the surface very little for the benefit of the rings. All threaded holes will get a reamer. That's the last of that four. The one in the back here, that one right there, that's half-inch. That's half-inch pipe right there. Don't miss none of them. And the 4 bolts for the cover right there is 5/16. Don't neglect them. Even though this engine right here is not going to get no paint replacement on it, is nonetheless that anything would be left undone as far as a mechanical aspect of it. And we were lucky, if you remember, we were quite lucky to get the 4 matching bolts that holds this cover on here. Most of the time you get 3 with one of them missing. One more to go. 7/16 14 is the thread for that. And this one right here is the one that had that homemade bolt in there. So it may not be a good thread. And if not, something will be done to set it right. And I believe what's happened is they have upgraded that, and it looks a little bit big. I believe that's a 1/2 inch, because that's too loose. And there it is. That's the bolt that they had in there, and that's what they've done is drill that out and put that 1/2 inch bolt in there. We'll have to make some adjustments there. As far as the bushing, that's probably the reason they left that bushing out of there. Cylinder sleeve installed, oiler pipe installed. This is what you end up with. And if everything is right, then this right here fitting does not make contact with this casting here. There's a little bit of play in there. That's not a tight fit right there. You do not want a tight fit with this adapter into that housing, because this cast iron does expand. But we got that cylinder sleeve in yonder, so we're gonna be good to go here.